Hello Curious and welcome back! When shopping, the Pringles crisps with a cartoon face with a thick moustache in the box probably ended up in your basket many times. Probably everyone remembers a child's face on Gerber baby food jars or a smiling boy on Kinder chocolate boxes. And for everyone eating at KFC restaurants, the older gentleman you see on every bucket of fried chicken will surely be familiar. There are company logos that we see every day without even realizing that there are real people behind them. So what boy from the real world appeared on Kinder Chocolate? Who is the child from the Gerber labels? What is the story behind the Pringles man? Stay tuned until the end to find out their identities and other real faces known from famous logos. But before we continue, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos. KFC is currently one of the most popular food chains, famous for its chicken cooked to a special recipe and its logo depicting a smiling elderly man. The man in the picture is not a fictional character, he is KFC founder Harold Sanders, who went a long way before making his restaurants world famous. Before the first one opened in 1930, the founder grabbed just about every job he could find, and in the meantime, he also joined the military, which earned him the nickname Colonel Sanders. When he was in his 40s, he decided to set up his bar in a roadside gas station and sell hand-cooked chicken. Unfortunately, the diner failed due to a bad location, but Sanders didn't give up and started another one in another part of Kentucky. It was a hit and customers quickly fell in love with the dishes he served. The key to his success was also the proprietary recipe of the unique coating used to coat the meat, as well as the founder himself. Colonel Sanders greeted all guests with a wide smile on his lips and advertised his restaurants wearing a distinctive white outfit and a bow tie tied under his neck. Customers lined up to see him, and KFC became associated with a cheerful owner serving chicken that was different from anywhere else. Not surprisingly, his face eventually appeared on the logo as well, although it is worth noting that when it was first created, it was very different from the one we know now. Indeed, it featured Sanders' face and his company's full name, Kentucky Fried Chicken, placed on a white background. As the restaurant chain expanded, the logo underwent transformations to become even more recognizable. A revolutionary name change came in 1991. An eye-catching red color was added to the logo, and the lettering was shortened to just the first 3 letters of the brand. It still had the happy face of the owner, of course, but it too underwent a slight facelift 6 years later, and the drawing was simplified a bit. In 2007, it was time for another change, and it was then that the logo took the form we see today. The owner was dressed in a red apron, his image was placed on a red background in the shape of a trapezoid, which refers to the buckets in which food is sold in restaurants. Of course, they could not miss the description KFC, to which is also sometimes added an advertising slogan proclaiming finger-licking good. Such a picture is placed on all packages of KFC, with the brand itself today being one of the most valuable and recognizable in the world. The company's distinctive logo has undoubtedly contributed to its huge success, and after hearing its story, you will probably look at the drawing of the smiling gentleman on the package in a different way the next time you visit the fast food restaurant. Moving on, did you realize that the smiling face on the packaging of Pringles has a name? Yes, that gentleman with the bushy moustache is Julius Pringles, a fictional character, though said to be inspired by one of the people who helped create the famous crisps in the tube. Among the likely prototypes mentioned are Alexander Liepa, who was responsible for the unique taste of Pringles, or Gene Wolfe, creator of the machine to make them. The originator of the characteristic packaging in which the crunchy treat is sold and its appearance was Frederick Bauer, who, after the success of the Pringles brand on the market, wished that after his death his ashes would be buried in one of the tube-shaped cans, which actually happened. And back to the distinctive logo. Julius Pringles was created in 1967 to be exact, and from then on until now, he wears a thick moustache that is shaped like 2 connected Pringles chips. He also has an inseparable bow tie, once used as a backdrop for the brand's logo and now in a much smaller form, simply placed over the Pringles wordmark. The logo has gone through a succession of cosmetic changes over the years. Julius was presented on a red background or with a tussle hairstyle on his head, and exactly that year another metamorphosis took place. As the logo was greatly simplified, Mr. Pringles' hair was dropped and his moustache and eyes became all black. What has not changed at all, however, is the taste of the crisps, which his happy face encourages you to buy, and they are still made according to a unique recipe. Now let's take a little closer look at the famous Gerber product label image, which has a particularly interesting history. It started when, over 90 years ago, Gerber announced a contest to find a face for an advertising campaign for a baby food. dozens of candidates submitted their drawings, and one of them was an artist, Dorothy Hope Smith, who prepared a rather simple sketch of a disheveled toddler with a puzzled face. It was one that eventually emerged victoriously and was adapted as Gerber's official trademark in 1931. Since then, it has been featured on all of the company's packaging and advertising, but interestingly enough, the identity of the logo's child was kept secret for over 40 years. Not surprisingly, it became the subject of much speculation, and it was suspected that Gerber's world-famous baby was tiny Elizabeth Taylor or Humphrey Bogart. There were also rumours that it could have been a several-month-old Jane Seymour. All this was far from the truth, and in 1978 it was revealed that the illustration depicted little Anne Turner Cook, who lived with her parents in the drawing author's neighbourhood. The little girl was so adorable at birth that Dorothy Smith chose to immortalise her in her sketch. Of course, after this information was revealed, the media decided to find the girl, or rather the adult woman, who grew out of her, and it turned out that Anne Cook became a novelist and teacher who was very eager to pose for pictures with the drawing that made her a Gerber baby. Numerous theories have also circulated about the boy from the Kinder chocolate packages. While many people assumed that his face was merely the result of computer animation, it turned out to be a real person as much as possible. Kinder Boy made his debut in 1973, but it wasn't until over 30 years later that his identity and intriguing story were revealed. Little Gunter Uringer found his way onto the packaging thanks to his mother working for an advertising agency, who took her son for a photo shoot, not realizing that he would be chosen as the face of a brand producing chocolates. Over the years, he became recognizable that the public became interested. Who exactly is the Kinder Boy? There were plenty of baffling theories that he was a child actor who fell into obscurity, or a millionaire who made money every time a box of chocolates with his face on it was sold. Eventually, he came out himself, and now an adult, confessed that for 30 years after the shoot he wanted his identity kept secret. It turned out that he was far from a rich man, as he led a quiet life as a cameraman and filmmaker, and was paid 300 German marks, or about 150 euros in today's currency, for appearing on a box of chocolates in 1973. The famous image of the smiling boy in 2005 was changed, and the new face of Kinder became a young Englishman, Josh Bateson. For years, his true identity was not revealed either, and it was only when the 11-year-old grew into a 24-year-old that he revealed on social media that he was the one who appeared as the new face of the famous brand in 2005. This coming out of the shadows gave him quite a bit of popularity, especially as Josh became a handsome man, and his accounts on Instagram quickly gained thousands of new followers. But that's not the end of revealing the real faces behind the logos of famous brands. And yes, movie lovers surely associate the lady with the torch in her hand appearing before every movie produced by Columbia Pictures. The artist Michael Diaz was responsible for its creation, and the muse was a woman named Jenny Joseph. She was not a qualified model or a casting director, but simply a co-worker of Diaz, who eagerly accepted his offer to pose. In later interviews, she confessed that her participation on the creation of the Columbia Pictures logo was an unforgettable adventure and immensely satisfying, because in doing so, she was contributing to the history of cinema. And while we're on the subject of major studio trademarks, it's also worth mentioning the lion that appears in every MGM film's opening credits. It was not a creation of animators, but a real animal named Jackie. In addition to appearing on the MGM logo, the lion also starred in more than 100 motion pictures, including as the companion in 2000 and alongside Greta Garbo. So curious, can you think of any other famous logos and the people behind them? Would you like your faces to be immortalized as the image of a product? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.